Good morning, and thank you for joining us on After GMS. I'm Tracy McCain here with meteorologist Christian Morgan. It is Friday, April 8th, and it feels like a Friday, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I think we're all ready for the weekend.
Definitely, because I'm going to lose my mind. I felt like I was running the bases there ahead of opening day as I was trying to get my phone. Thanks for holding it down.
Sure.
The weather, though, is...
Well, you know, it's like we're in this pattern here. You probably know it here if you're watching too. It's like we get warm during the week.
It's repetitive.
It's very repetitive. We get warm during the week, and then we get windy and cool over the weekend. And this weekend is no different.
Yes.
Right? We had that strong cold front that moved by yesterday, and now the cooler air is moving back in, and it'll set up shop for the weekend.
Setting up shop. Can't we close? Have an employee day.
Can't we close this shop?
Exactly. We just have, a staff appreciation day.
Sure, why not? I'll tell you this, it's a much more refreshing morning outside this morning than it was yesterday when it was warm and when it was muggy. And in fact, it's quite cool this morning. Pretty neat looking sky this morning too as you look out over downtown High Point. Sitting at 40 degrees right now in High Point, typically a little cooler than everybody else, but most of us are starting out in the mid 40s right now. 44 in Greensboro, 44 Asheboro and in Lexington, 43 in Winston-Salem and up in Walnut Cove too, 42 Burlington, 37 in Reedsville, and mid 30s as you go back to the west up into the foothills and up into the mountains as well. Notice we have cooler air in place here, but there's some even colder air to the north and west that's going to be building in as we go into the weekend. Check it out on radar. Here's our big system. Still not done with us yet, but the cold front is now off the coast. This big spinning motion that you see, that's that big area of upper level low pressure above our heads. And that's kind of the big parent system to the cold front that we had yesterday. And that'll swing through as we go into this evening. So as it does, we'll see some extra clouds building in throughout the afternoon. And there's enough energy with this and there's enough cold air in the atmosphere that I think there could be just a few brief showers, probably only lasting 10 to 15 minutes or so. But there's so much cold air, I think there could be a little bit of tiny hail in any shower that we get. Of course, wouldn't last long. Don't expect many of them, but something to be on guard for this afternoon and this evening. After that, another little front slides by tonight, and as we go into the weekend, that brings us that push of colder air, and it'll be windy today, and it'll be windy tomorrow as well. Wind will not be an issue as we go into your Sunday. Thank goodness. At that point, we will start to warm things up a little bit more, low 60s by Sunday, and then we'll head into the 70s early next week. And we are talking about a bigger push of colder air, and honestly, it'll feel like a little bit of a winter chill by the time you wake up the next couple mornings. So Saturday, we're waking up into the upper 30s. Check out these lows on Sunday morning, around freezing. So some patchy frost will be possible as you're waking up on Sunday morning. So yes, we're not done with the cold just yet, but we do get warm heading into next week. We'll be dry too for a couple of days, and 70s make a comeback, even close to 80 by the middle of next week. So here's the plan today, all wrapped up nice and neat. Mostly sunny this morning, extra clouds this afternoon, low 60s for the high today, and that wind will gust around 30 miles per hour. Again, keeping our eye out for a couple brief showers with a little bit of tiny hail. So if you're heading downtown Greensboro to celebrate with the Hoppers tonight for opening day, a light jacket, an umbrella, maybe a blanket, not a bad idea to take in some baseball tonight. It'll be cool and windy around 59 degrees for that first pitch at 6:30 this evening. After that, we're waking up to 30s on Saturday, 55 and windy for the afternoon. Down around freezing Sunday morning, patchy morning frost, and low 60s Sunday afternoon, low 70s Monday. Closing in on 80 again by the middle of next week, and just low rain chances on Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, let's get started here with some social conversations. A big change for those who enjoy the outdoors and like to travel. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park will begin charging visitors to park. It's the most visited national park in the U.S. and was the biggest free park in the country before this week's decision. Pay to park will take effect next year. So we asked you on the Good Morning Show to name any state or national park on your bucket list. Mike said he's driven to the lower 48 and every major city in Canada. He said this June he will get to see the Grand Canyon. Pretty neat. Alan wants to see Yellowstone, Glacier National Park, and Denali. Oh, that'd be nice. So yours was also Yellowstone.
Yeah, Yellowstone. I've never been really out in that part of the, in that part of the U.S. And so it's a trip that I'm trying to plan for my 30th with my brother and then another buddy of mine.
Didn't you just turn 30?
Yeah. But it was during the height of COVID, so we didn't really get
So it's like the extended 30.
This is
that was January.
I'm 30 now, but I still need to celebrate that.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But I was just like, wait a minute, I'm like completely in a different year. Okay.
No, yeah, it's still
It's
the
a
same birthday.
continuation
It's a
of
continuation.
the 30th birthday.
Right.
Got it.
So, the plan is to drive out west or fly probably out to Colorado, to Denver, and then drive up into Montana and Wyoming and kind of do everything along the way there and go through Yellowstone and do that.
I've never been to Colorado.
Me either.
I would love to.
I'd love to go skiing up there too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just looks like a beautiful state.
Yeah. What about you?
So I mentioned that I would like to go to Joshua Tree.
Yeah, out in California.
Yep, California, desert. So I'm not really sure if my body will take the changes because, I don't like it cold, but I don't like it hot either.
Yeah.
72 to 75, my range is very minimal. In terms
Very
of
specific.
It's like a 3-degree range. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to handle it, but I am fascinated with Dr. Seuss's books as a child growing up, and I learned in high school that he used Joshua Trees as a muse for a lot of his artwork, and so kind of like that wispy, like tree kind of limber-ness. I just am fascinated with that. So I was like, oh, I would love to see that in person. It's always just been like a bucket list thing that, since I was a kid in high school, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go do that one day. And I just haven't yet, and probably will be a long time before I do. But California is a great state. Why not just,
Why not go travel out there?
Travel out there.
I've been on the East Coast, I've been on the West Coast, and more stuff east, but I've never really spent a lot of time out in the Midwest. So I'd like to go kind of see all that.
We have great national parks here in North Carolina, but I feel like I've done most of those and can do them at any point. So I'm like, I'll just reach for
broaden the horizon.
Exactly, reach for somewhere I was, would love to go, but just it's kind of out of reach at this point. So let's ask you guys here on our feed which state or national park you guys would like to go to. Let's see. Melody said, my bucket list is Gattonville, Tennessee. Yeah. Let's see. What is the park there in Tennessee?
Are you talking about Dollywood in Gatlinburg?
This is Gatlinville, Tennessee. I was thinking about Gatlinburg.
Me too.
Let's see. Rebecca White said, I love waterfalls, so definitely Niagara Falls.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah, definitely. And let's see. Melody also said the Great Smoky Mountains. Carol also said Niagara Falls. I hear it is beautiful. So that would be some good stuff too.
Oh, Melody said Gatlinburg. She said it in the comment below.
Okay,
that's
good.
What
Because I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Bobby said he loves Cali. I like California too, and depending on like the parts that you go to, like I have been to San Diego, and the weather is perfect.
Great there.
This is like
cool in San Francisco.
Yeah, exactly.
And foggy.
But then you go to like the desert areas and you're like, why did I come here? Bobby also said Yellowstone National Park and the Grand Canyon. Yeah. So.
Grand Canyon's good. A lot of people go out, they'll do a trip to Vegas and then they'll go out and they'll do the Hoover Dam and they'll do the Grand Canyon kind of all in one while they're out there for that week.
Yeah. All right, so I don't see any more comments here about this, but it's just, as the more temperatures get warmer, well, not this weekend, but hopefully soon, maybe after Easter, you start to make plans like, what can I do outside? What can I do to enjoy, all of, God's beauty? And, a national park is like certainly something that you do. I don't think a parking charge would deter me from going because you usually pay to go to any attraction these days.
Sure, of course you do.
So there are not many things that are free anymore. So, I mean, that was just, a program that was obviously great.
Sure.
But, like all great things sometimes, it just comes to an end.
Comes to an end. And they'll use that money, to go to do repairs and to kind of keep the park up. And so I don't mind paying a little bit when it does that.
Right.
Especially after storms, it takes a lot of effort to clean all that up. And you think about Pilot Mountain when we had the fire, several months ago, it's taken them a long time to clean that up. And that main trail is now finally back open. But you think of all the volunteer work and all the forestry service and all the time that they've spent out there cleaning that up and getting that ready to go again. It takes time and it takes resources.
Yeah.
So paying a small fee to park
right.
to help with that some of that stuff.
Maybe they'll be able to hire more workers with that.
Maybe so.
But we'll see. There's some more coming in here. Joanne said Grand Canyon is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
She loves that. LeVar said that Glacier National Park in Montana is really nice. And Bobby just added, it's too expensive to live in California. Yeah, it was just a little visit. All right, let's take a look at some of your headlines, and then we have another conversation right after this. Our Guilford County Commissioners are offering an incentive to voters that approve a school bond referendum and a 1/4-cent sales tax increase. Commissioners say they will lower property taxes if it passes. The school board plans to use the bond money to help repair and upgrade some dilapidated Guilford County schools. The Guilford County Association of Educators is calling on GCS leaders to add more staff to schools. The group says more teachers and support staff is needed to give students a full and proper education. The association is also rallying for better wages. The nation's largest steel producer is expanding in Lexington. Nucor says it will build a plant and invest $350 million, creating 180 new jobs. Get this, the average salary, not the top, not the lowest, but the average salary for jobs there, $99,000 a year. Greensboro Police Summer Youth Employment Initiative is underway, and Chief Brian James started the 8-week program last year as an idea to keep teenagers busy and out of trouble while school was out for summer. There will be a career fair Saturday, April 30th at the Windsor Community Center in Greensboro. You can register for it online through the 500 Jobs GSO website.
Well, what I can tell you is there's going to be a much different start to the season this year. If you remember, last season started a month later because of the pandemic, and the minor league baseball team wasn't able to get its full support from its fans because of COVID restrictions, only allowing about 25% of them inside of the ballpark. But tonight, the Grasshoppers are hoping that fans will pack out the ballpark, cheering them on as they take on the Rome Braves. Right now, you're getting an inside look at the team preparing for the big day. And even during the offseason, everyone's getting ready for the start of the team's 66-game season. And while the Hoppers plan to hold it down on the field, there's going to be a lot of off-the-field entertainment as well.
We'll have a great fireworks show brought to us by our partners at First National Bank. We have a jigsaw puzzle giveaway for the first 1,000 people that enter the ballpark, again, courtesy of our naming rights partner, First National Bank. It's a neat jigsaw puzzle of the ballpark and the surrounding neighborhood, the apartments behind us and all. It's pretty cool.
And tonight, fans will also be introduced to a new member of the team. There are some new paws on the field. Willie Mae Mays is the new pup on foul ball and bat retrieval. And if you go to the games for the full experience, for the off-the-field entertainment and the food and drinks, there are some promotions there as well, like $2 hot dogs and drinks. The first pitch will begin at 6:30.
All right, Denise at the Grasshoppers Stadium in Greensboro ahead of opening day, which will start in just a few hours. Really exciting.
Yeah.
This time of year always kind of gets you excited for baseball and just kind of like all the new things, you know.
It does, and you know, it's so great to have the Hoppers season opening up again, and it's all the fun and all the frills this time. You know, the last couple of years, you know, 2 years ago we weren't able to have it. Last year we were able to have the season, but it was kind of cut back in the amount of folks that could come and what they could do. And such a big part of the Hoppers and such a big part of going is the fan interaction that they do. And so to have all that back this year and have that fun back to seeming like, you know, normal times again is really exciting.
Yeah, it really is. And so now that we know that baseball, both minor and major league, taking over our communities in the next few weeks. Let's talk about our opening day here in Greensboro and then the one in Winston-Salem. And we also have the High Point Rockers, let's not forget. So opening day for the Winston-Salem Dash is tonight. The game starts at 7 against the Hickory Crawdads. And the High Point Rockers opening night is April 21st. So some of you guys let us know about the teams that you're excited to see play this season. And one viewer said the Toronto Blue Jays. Our Brian said he loves both minor and Major League Baseball and loves the Greensboro Grasshoppers and the Atlanta Braves. That's kind of who we grew up with, you know, in this area. Regionally, you know, you watch the Braves because, you know, we still don't have a Major League Baseball team. But luckily we have 4. Burlington has a team. Yeah, I know. Let's not forget about Burlington.
Sock Puppets.
Yes, that is their new name. Yeah, started last year.
And there's the Disco Turkeys in Winston too. Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we've got some teams. And it's all exciting. I mean, the fan experience is why I go.
Absolutely.
It's the food. It's the camaraderie. It's the fireworks. It's the atmosphere where they kind of just like really make it a family experience. You can bring a first date there if you want, or you can bring your 5-year-old kids. You know what I mean? Like it's really just a great experience for everybody.
And one thing we learned this morning on the Good Morning Show, if you were watching, is that Tracy has a favorite food item in every ballpark. So she's going to go to the Hoppers for a hot dog tonight, and then she's going to leave and go to the Dash Stadium to get a funnel cake. Is that right? Is it funnel cake at the Dash Stadium?
Yes, exactly. Okay. And it's so good. It's like a double decker.
Gosh.
Yeah, and it has it's like 2 funnel cakes in one. So it has the confectionery sugar.
Yes.
And then it has fudge, or you can do caramel if you want. And they just stack them on top of each other, and then it's like a cake, and then they put more sugar on top.
Speak to me.
And cinnamon if you want it. So good.
All right, well, I'll be right back.
It's so good. I mean, hopefully it's still on the menu, but
I hope so.
That was like 3 or 4 years ago when I went. It was so good.
Some kind of concoction this is.
And they just put it together.
Sounds
you
so
can get
good.
it like a cake.
Oh, it sounds good.
They hand you a fork and a knife.
Sounds like you need it with all that.
All right, so let's see what you guys are saying here on the feed. Let's see. Anybody have some? Oh yeah, LeVar said, "Where's our Brian?" LOL, because he's always on the feed.
He's been missing the last couple days.
That's because he was, replying earlier. Carol said, "My family has always been divided. My dad and older brother were Mets fans, and my brother is a Yankee fan." That's right. Carol does have family in New York, doesn't she? That's why she loves the snow. Joanne Suttle said, "Go Cincinnati Reds." Rebecca White said, "I'm not into baseball. The only sports I watch is football and basketball. Occasionally I watch golf and racing." Nice. Somebody said the Greensboro Grasshoppers, to which Lakaya said, "Good answer."
Trying to score some brownie points here.
LeVar Jarrell said Yankees. That's awesome. And then Nadine said, "Let's go Mets." Lakaya says, "I was a Chipper fan."
Oh, definitely a Braves fan then.
Yeah, let's see. And that's all I see right here.
My dad's always been a Yankees fan, but my grandpa was a Braves fan. And so that's just where I had, I guess, really no reason to pull for the Braves, but I always have, since that was who my grandpa always pulled for.
Right.
And we'd sit and watch the games, and so I've always pulled for the Braves. And I've been to a game at the old stadium at Turner Stadium, and now they've built the new SunTrust Park in Atlanta. So I'm really trying to go to a game there soon. Maybe this year.
Right. I will go to games, right?
Yeah.
Because I just love the fan experience. I don't necessarily watch the games, but that's because I'm like a bunny rabbit. My mind always is like,
baseball takes a long time to play,
does.
especially an MLB game.
Yes. And the playoffs, I've never really liked the system where it's like the best out of so many games.
Yeah.
Like the NBA and MLB. I just prefer here's the game and you've played it and now you've won.
And
right?
they play so many. I've
do.
never understood why baseball has to play 100+ games.
It's a lot.
NFL, you play one every Sunday and you get a bye week in there somebody. I've never understood.
I would assume it's taxing on the body.
It has to be. It has to be taxing on the body.
But they're not maybe taking physical hits, maybe?
I don't know.
I mean,
Sliding
I know
into
football
bases
players, yeah. I couldn't make the comparison because I've never played either one.
I got hit in the mouth with a baseball during tryouts one time, and I gave it up at that point.
Oh,
I said, all right, I'm going to go play golf.
Oh, no. Yeah, exactly.
And so I have ever since then.
Exactly. So, yeah, I would definitely, I'm more a golf.
Yeah.
I played volleyball pretty much all my life, and I never had a concussion or injury, but I basically stayed in a box. Not much running or anything like that. It was really good. I've got strong legs. So
There you
that's
go.
good.
But baseball takes a long, it's
does
so
take a
much
lot.
fun. And, and especially like a place like the Hoppers or the Dash locally, and your minor league teams. That's what I was saying earlier. You don't have to know a lot or even anything about baseball to go there and have a good time.
Right.
They do so much with the fans and about getting the crowd
Right.
involved, and to have that back is such a big point. And there's a lot of that going on at an MLB game too, but to sit and just watch an MLB game, it takes forever. It's a long time to play.
Yeah. So the one good thing about, I think, having all those games is that it gives fans in each city the opportunity to see their team play in the final, championship game. Now, whether you're watching all 9 innings or, 2 hours of the basketball game or whatever, I mean, that's, part of the case, but just to say that you were there. And
pretty amazing.
You know, exactly, especially in the final matchups.
You know, it's like I'm not necessarily a Cubs fan. I pull for the Braves, but when I was in Chicago, I went to a game at Wrigley Field. And I think the point for me was like, I've been to a game in Wrigley Field, and just going there for that history and just to have that kind of nostalgia there, that is such a big piece of it. To sit in that old stadium.
Yeah. You know when I really became interested in baseball? After watching A League of Their Own.
Oh, that's a good movie.
I was like, wow. I was like, did this really happen? And then I started researching, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then, you know, that's movies kind of just kind of drove that passion. But then it quickly faded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carol said, I used to play softball, loved it. Oh, awesome. Were you a pitcher? Did you play in the fields? What is it?
The outfield?
Outfield?
Infield, outfield?
The field. See, then you can choose.
Just out there.
Then you can choose, right, in or out. Exactly. LeVar wanted to add that his golf game is horrible, so I understand. Joanne's kids played in the Little League, even the girls, which is awesome. And it looks like Julie Luck might be on here, which is kind of cool.
Hey, Julie.
Yeah. By the way, Dana said, come on down, Christian. She's welcoming you to Atlanta to watch a Braves game.
I would love to come down there. I can't wait.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Go to the new park and see a game there.
Didn't they just win?
Just won the World Series.
The World Series? I'm like, wait a minute, this is all clicking.
Which is huge, because being a Braves fan is like this emotional roller coaster, like just all the time.
Right.
And to have that win, you know, the first World Series win since the 90s was huge.
Yeah.
You know, one of our directors, Brad here, sits behind me in the newsroom in the Weather Center, and just all last season he was so pumped, and just to have that win is a big morale booster, not only for fans, and I think doing that now will probably bring more fans out to the stadium this year.
He has a team in every sport.
He does. Football, baseball, basketball.
Premier League.
He has a golfer that he follows.
Hockey. I mean, like you could talk to him about anything. As long as it's sports, he will have something to say. It's kind of interesting. And he's always just like, oh my God, did you see that goal last night? I'm like, if you do not walk away from me now.
He'll come in.
Because I don't get to see it because I'm sleeping.
And so now, like, you know, now that the Masters is on,
yeah,
he'll come in this morning at about 9:30, and he'll walk over and he'll be like, dude, did you see the so-and-so? And I was like, yes, Brad, I saw it. So we'll have a 10-minute conversation about that.
So hilarious. All right, guys, these have been great conversations. You know, we'll continue my education of baseball post A League of Their Own.
There's an infield and an outfield now. We've learned that. Okay.
There is. Okay. I won't quote any lines, although I could. All right, let's take a look at the forecast.
Yeah, if you are heading downtown Greensboro tonight to check out the Hoppers opening day, I would carry along a light jacket and maybe a blanket too. You'll probably need that. It'll be cool and windy. First pitch at 6:30. Temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60. Of course, we will be keeping an eye to the sky for a few brief showers. And when I say brief showers, I mean, 10, 15 minutes and they'll be over. But there's enough cold air in the atmosphere. There could even be a little bit of tiny hail in some of those showers if they are to form. So keep that in mind. Low 60s and windy for the afternoon, dropping down into the 30s tonight, 50s and wind for your Saturday, and then we go down close to freezing by Sunday morning. So some patchy frost Sunday morning, not out of the question for some of our areas. Low 60s and not windy on Sunday. Then we gradually warm back up going into next week. Low 70s with a partly cloudy sky on Monday. We'll run the line close to 80 degrees by Tuesday and Wednesday with a low rain chance Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, Carol just said my favorite line in that movie. There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in baseball.
Carol, we're like kindred souls. I love it. All right, thanks so much for joining us on After GMS. We'll see you back here on Monday for more conversations, hopefully an improved forecast. Well, it will be. Exactly. All right, let's take a look at some of the reasons or things that made us smile this week. This is the best of GMS.
Have a good weekend.
It is a feel-good Wednesday.
I know, you're about to say Friday.
I wish.
Thinking ahead here.
It is a wonderful Wednesday.
And it's hump day.
Yes, it is April 6th. I'm Tracy McCain, searching for words here in my memory bank, along with meteorologist Christian Morgan. I was going to say Matthew. See, this is how sleep depravity
words are hard right now.
Yeah, exactly. And Sydney Moore. Words are very hard.
It's going to be a little windy. Let's back up a minute.
Okay.
Y'all been sneezing lately? God, don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. My
I
eyes.
think
I've been sniffing. I've been doing a lot of sniffing.
Yeah.
It is April Fool's Day. No pranking around. I'm like waiting for a bucket of water to drop or something. Now that's just mean. That's not even a prank, right?
We would never do that to you.
No, and I would never do it to
Better
you.
not do it to me either.
Ever. Cute. Just joking.
So if y'all went, well, what's something that you would take?
Mascara. For all the pictures.
We love to see
to take
it.
I have
So the
my
eyes can
lashes.
pop.
Okay.
Definitely.
I wouldn't go at all. So
Really?
there's that. I would be terrified to go to space.
A 10-minute space flight?
Yeah.
I would consider that.
Right.
Because I can come
Really?
back.
Yeah,
Because I can come back
in 10 minutes.
in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And still go to Chick-fil-A and all the other things they're doing. You know?
They can't take that thing to the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A, can they?
No, I don't think so.
Or Union Coffee.
Only one team, that's not right. I've already messed it up. One North Carolina team. I thought I really had it that time, but I didn't.